With Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe being such a massive disappointment in so many ways, and of course the disastrous start to Phase 5 with the flop that was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, there's no doubt that Marvel is doing everything in their power right now to try to promote Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The end for all of these characters, the final installment in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. You would think that it would be seeing massive interest, that people would be buying tickets like crazy because despite all the faults with the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the last several years, I imagine they thought that a lot of people would still be excited to see these characters that have been around for nearly 9 years now in the MCU. But unfortunately for them, despite dropping everything they can, world tours, commercials everywhere, even the announcement and the reveal that Chris Pratt drops an F-bomb in this, the first in MCU history, even that has not been enough to generate the interest they're hoping for. Because right now, as we get closer and closer to the release date, the box office projections are starting to go down. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 expected to flop at the box office ahead of release. And we did talk about this about a week ago. And we saw the initial projections were not even stacking up to what Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 did. That was a $146 million opening weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 at that point was projected to just be a little bit under that. Well, since that time, the projections have actually gone down. With Guardians of the Galaxy 3 slated for release on May 5th, there's much debate regarding whether it will live up to the success of its predecessor, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It also remains to be seen if the movie will fare better than the other Phase 5 film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It will definitely do better than that. There's no doubt that it will do better than that, I am sure. The pre-release projections are not very promising. With an opening weekend of 120 to 155 million and a grossing total of 288 to 400, it will not be considered a success. Well, hold on a second, because like I said, these numbers have gone down. Look at the newest long-range box office projections just from a day or two ago. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, down. It has gone down since it initially came out with that long-range forecast and people realized tickets weren't selling as well as they thought they were. 110 to $135 million. The mid-range there is what, 125, 123 million, somewhere in that. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which made $850 million worldwide. Mind you, $100 million of that was in China. You can't count on that anymore, can you? Opening weekend 146. If this movie opens that much less than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this could spell absolute disaster for Marvel, because we're not seeing these kind of holds anymore. We're not seeing 55% holds in the box office for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not anymore. We're seeing 65, 70% second weekend drops. So the fact that Guardians, which I think a lot of people, even with the criticism towards Marvel, a lot of people did expect Guardians to do big things. It has a $250 million production budget. With all the marketing they've been doing for this movie for seemingly a year, that budget has to be massive too. And as much as I love Chris Pratt, it just doesn't seem like the energy is there for this. Maybe that's just because Marvel's left such a bad taste in so many people's mouths. And look at these domestic totals. Right now, the range, again, down 6%. Anywhere from $264 to $351 million. Even at the high end, that is still significantly less than the nearly $400 million total of Volume 2. With their production budget and their marketing budget, this is a movie that has to probably make $700 to $750 million to break even. We're talking massive numbers just to break even. And right now, you have to be scared. They have to be scared to death if they are Marvel. That's not the only. Chris Pratt isn't dropping the only F-bomb at Marvel if this is actually the case, because this is the one they banked on. They knew Ant-Man and the Wasp probably wasn't going to have the same type of interest that this would. They knew the Marvels coming out later this year certainly won't. But this one they had to be banking on. And now as we get even closer to the date, the projections, instead of getting better, are actually getting worse for them. Now that could certainly be different. It could come out and it could be a masterpiece and everyone could love it and all these things. But for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it seems like so much of what they're doing right now has been tied up in those opening weekends. So much money coming in that opening weekend from their hardcore fan base. And it doesn't look like that fan base is ready to come out for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If that isn't an indication that people have just had enough and aren't even willing to give things a chance when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore, I don't know what else will. I don't know what else will actually spell that out for people. But as of right now, when we're looking at these numbers, it is not good news for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Maybe they could way outperform their projections, just like Mario did. Another Chris Pratt movie, obviously, but somehow people do not think that'll be the case for this one. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.